All right, so welcome to compiling your toolkit. I'm Joy. I am here to show you how to do some cyber and stuff. Okay, wow, talk about technical difficulties. Okay, let's get to it. Hi everybody. First and foremost, if you have your emojis set up, let's go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you already have your Python compiler installed. If not, I'm gonna drop it in the drop some suggestions in the chat for you. Let's go. Okay. All right, let me see. Beep, 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 beep. We have a lot of time together, a lot more. We have 2 projects that I'd like to complete. It is a port scanner and a banner grabber. Give me a second here. Alrighty. All right, so this is. There is a step-by-step downloader. Nope, I don't have any feedback. If you are on a Mac, there are some things that you will have to do. Like if you don't have brew installed, you'll need to have brew installed. If you'll also need to have pip installed. You'll need to have nmap installed. All right, so this class is also intended for people who have some familiarity with Python. While you guys get your machines ready, I do apologize for my internet connectivity. There is some electrical interference, I'd like to say, with the thunderstorm that's taking place. But first and foremost, before I continue, there are 2 individuals I'd like to give a shout out to. That would be Eric Maths. He is a No Starch Press author. Basically the intro to Python books and the amazing flashcards that I use to help with this construct this course. And Christy Zalt. If you don't know who he is, he's a Romanian Python instructor on Udemy. He has an amazing class for Python for cybersecurity professionals. I can provide those links in the chat so you can get familiar with the class. A lot of what we do today have been derived from both of those resources, and I hope they help you as much as they help me. Again, I'm Joy, and welcome to class. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. Let me see. Alrighty, let's see here. All right, so most of the links that I put into the Brella chat are for those who have Mac computers. If you're running any Windows or Linux platform, you really don't need those, as those kits come pre-installed with a lot of that stuff. But just in case, we're gonna run through some of those things just to make sure that that we're all on the same page, because you will get errors popping up. And if you're not using a compiler like PyCharm that shows you where your Python breaks before you hit save, then you're gonna have a little bit more difficulty with completing this course. Again, we have 2 lovely hours to spend together, so let's give, it's fine with the technical difficulties. That we're going to go through, go ahead and throw them in the chat, as our moderators will get those questions to me. Appreciate your participation today in this Cyberjutsu Con. So let's see. Alrighty, for those of you who need a quick refresher on some. So the 2 people that I mentioned were Eric Matz and Christy Zolt, Z-O-T. Christy Zolt is a Udemy instructor, and Eric Matz is an author, father, hacker, hacktivist, great guy. You can follow them on their Twitter platforms. They're both very responsive, very stand-up guys. And yeah, we're really quick to respond when I told them, hey, I'm going to use your content for my class. So that was cool. So here is, for anyone that needs, any refreshers for Python, here is a master list from one of Eric Math's course, his books, the Introduction to Python, the Python flashcards. Again, those Python flashcards are a must get. Here is a Amazon link to his book, which naturally will take you to the flashcards. So, yep, sure. Eric Maths and Christy. Service and deliver it and be able to access it anywhere. All right, so let's get right into it. Hopefully that was enough time for everyone to set up their workshop. If you need like maybe 5 more minutes, you can say wait one, because again, we only building 2 tools today and we have 2 hours to do it. Just to make time for questions and as we go along. And clearly, unfortunately, my bandwidth is doing some terrible communication. So yeah, it'll take a while to get to you guys anyway. So, all right. Excuse me. Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me, or if you can see the Visual Studio that I have up. Get a thumbs up if your emoji's working. If not, if the audio, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, so the first modules that we'll need, I didn't get any thumbs up. Am I good to go? Can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Perfect. Alrighty, boobity. All right, let's get it. Good to go. All right, so the first modules we'll need for this project are as follows. And if you're in the military, you know exactly what I just did there. Or if you were in the military, you know exactly what I just did. Cool. So the first thing we're gonna do, the first modules that we're gonna use, a quick programming tip. If you didn't know, all the libraries that you need to import, or all the modules that you need to import, you can use on one line instead of going 4, 5, 6 lines down. So in this library, all right. So what we're gonna do, and all right. So basically on the first line, what we're going to do is we're going to create an if loop that closes gracefully after we send an argument that requests the information from an IP address. Okay. So if length system gracefully. All right, so I'm not sure where I am in the feed. Sorry guys, when I share the screen, I can't see the chat, which is, oh, there it is. Can I zoom? All right. As a reminder, this class anticipates that you have some fundamentals and that you have a thorough understanding of Python fundamentals. If not, let me see. There's a link that I've submitted that can get you caught up really quickly. But basically all we're doing is we're creating a bunch of loops. We're creating a bunch of loops and variables to create a banner grabber. This first project is a banner grabber. Right? So, but what I can do is I can run through really quick how to create a new project. In Visual Studio, go to File, go to New File, and then yep, perfect. Thank you. I have some people in the chat that's helping me out. Again, I apologize for my connectivity. It is terrible. I'm getting a lot of delays on my end as well. Okay, everything just froze. Give me a second here. Can everyone hear me? You know, yes. Hello, 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 hello. Unfortunately, guys, this is, let me see if I can. Not legible. Let me see here. I can. Okay. 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 So basically, this just provided a basic help message in case there was, unless an IP address isn't present. All right. So now we're going to set our variable request because we're using HTTP requests. Okay, perfect. Thanks everybody for their patience. So we're going to set the variable requests equals this get new new argument. Okay. All right, I'm gonna type it out and then I'm gonna say what we're doing after I type it out. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're requesting in our output, um, we're pinging, and here we're pinging the website, website and we're requesting the header information to come back, just like in any other banner grabber when you're using regular let's get, do we need the what? Yes. Alrighty. Okay, so we are going to get host by, I'll just do that because socket get host. I'll pause there because I just typed a lot. Again, so basically what we're doing in this session is we're creating, and this on this project, yes. When I'm zoomed in, I don't get word wrap. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can, hold on. Let me do this. Maybe this might help. Did that help? Yep. You can use Python 3. Yep. I put instructions as to how to download Python in the chat. Everybody have better visibility? Just waiting on everybody to catch up. Give me thumbs up when everybody's caught up. Got the time. Just wait a quick second. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. When everyone's caught up. So basically in our banner grabber, we've created our argument. We're requesting the header, and then here we're requesting the information by JSON. Just for readability, Greg, just for readability for me. That's just how I prefer to have my script. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor and save your script. The last thing you want to do is you want to work this, and then it's we want to work this, and then you lose it because you didn't save it. So thumbs up, thumbs up. So now we're gonna do our second request. We're gonna automate our second request. So we're going to, for this one, we're gonna request right. For this one, we're gonna request the more information from a specific website. So again, before I continue, do not forget that depending on the module that you're using and the operating system you have, you may need a new line. Let's get another. So here we're using Python. A we're using oops. We're using the APIs from for Python to automate and make things look pretty for us and for the processes and for using the API to process our commands. So from IP info, so IP info. Now, what we want to do is we want to print certain information, like the location, the region, the city, and the country. And so what we're going to do is for those 4 categories, we just make several print requests from the output on that information from the headers. So we can do something print dot print location from the information from our query, response underscore, and we're gonna abbreviate it and call it location, right? All right, so we wanted location, we got it. So the next one we wanna do region, just to save some time. I'm gonna do Control V, and I'm gonna change that to region. I'm gonna change that to REG. We could do it all out, that's fine. Location. And again, what else did I say? I said location, and then I said city. I think city. Okay, city. Alrighty. All right, so basically, all right, overall, what we just created is we're gonna ping an IP, we're gonna ping a website, and from that website, the information, we're gonna ping a website, and from that website, we want the information given to us in JSON. From the output, the information, we want it to be configured in a beautiful API, or we want the information to come to us quickly. And then the information that we want from that resource is the location, the region, the city, and the country. Thumbs up if you're with me. Yeah. Any questions so far? So now we're gonna run this. Sorry guys, typo there. Put 2 spaces there. And line 13 we do not need. Sorry. Thanks. All right. All right. Yes, loves. Yes. Get me, help me, get my whole life together. All right. And the next thing we want to do is we are going to we're going to run the script. Check here. Sorry about that, guys. You should change that to 2. Yes, line 11. Line 11 is incorrect. It's from the back, sis. My apologies. Sis art is not. It's just an art. So, yep, major typo there. So if your code is yelling at you, yeah. So your code is yelling at you. Code is yelling at you. My apologies, because this is definitely supposed to be cis RV. Line, and then request to equals request dot get. Yes, everybody, let's get each other together. Let's get each other together. I appreciate it. Thank you. Just request underscore 2 equals request again. This is what I want. From our response, we want the information from there to, there should not be an S here. Two, and then, all right, guys. All right, guys. This should work. All right, so let's just check it against Google because Google doesn't care about us using, giving us these little soft searches. Oh man, I gotta do that all over again. Hold on. Let me see. I have that here for you. Yep. Yep, I corrected that. All right, so for those of you who attempted, I took from a working script, and just to make sure, I'm gonna run this live BG and we're gonna run it through again, but I wanted to make sure that everybody has what they need, because at this point, because I am on a Mac, I have to go and reinstall into my Visual Studio because I've only installed it on my terminal. For whatever reason, they're not connecting, but I have to reinstall the pip env program. So that I know that we are all together on the same page. Before we move on to the next one, please list any questions in there if you haven't. And thank you so much for your patience between my connectivity and proofing. I really do appreciate your patience and your willingness to help. So when you run your script, because I can't share my share. So when you run your script, oh, that's tiny. It should look like this. There you go. So you have all of your header information. So make sure it's attacked the two lines on the first. Okay. Yeah. So this is your header information. And this is the IP address because that's what we requested. We wanted to know what the IP address was. They gave us the actual geographical coordinates. The region or the state was Virginia, and the city was Ashburn, and the country was US. Let me see thumbs up that those compiled correctly, that you were able to produce the results. So for the questions in Umbrella, for those of you, bannergrabbing.py is the original code, but yes, change it when you're running it. You want to change it to lifebg.py. Yes. And if you can't get the request to work, and ensure that you have pip installed. Yeah, you gotta use the pip install, and use pip to install requests. Let me see here. Let me go back to that. There's instructions. So if you're still having that issue, because I ran through that issue as well, you want to download pip nv, this right here, if you see my terminal. But I didn't have the issue when I ran it on my Windows machine. I only had it when I was on my Mac. So you'll just have to reinstall brew, and then do a brew install for that, for the pip env. So Python bannergrabbing. So pip env, there you go. All right, thanks, Greg. All right, so I'm just gonna see if I can find that. Install view request. I might do a brew install. Yeah, PyCharm is the GOAT. I just figured I'd use this, since most Windows people are Windows users. It took all of 2 seconds to install. So, yep. Right. So yes. So it's the same file, just for the purposes, because I wanted to troubleshoot. Did get the code, so that I can make sure we are moving at a good pace. Is this a good pace for everybody? Am I moving too fast? Am I moving too slow? Trying to catch it when I can. All right, so you said line 7, and print should be on line 8. Correct. Yes, Tracy. That looks good. Good, good. Yeah, right. I think your print is on line 7. It should be on print. Your print line should be on line 8. It should not share the same line as the request. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So how's everybody else doing? Let's do a little check-in. Woo. Stretch our fingers, stretch our legs. What does the option 3 do to the Python command? Oh, so all that means is you want to use Python 3. That's it. Python 3. If you have the latest edition of Python installed, you may not need it. But again, each compiler is different. So you might need that if that's what you're intending to do. Yes, Tracy. That is the pip. You have to install. So if pip doesn't work, and if you're on a Mac, if Tracy, if you're on a Mac, it'll run easier if you run it through brew. Pip. Right. Thanks, Kirsten. Thank you. Perfect. All right, can I get a thumbs up for everybody for this one? Because that would conclude, if there are no more questions for this one, that concludes this. That concludes this workout. Let me do a time check. How much time do we have? Because the port scanner, I feel like, is the more fun. But let's see. All right. So, all right, guys. We have about 30 minutes for the next script, which is a port scanner. Now, it's not going to be your typical port scanner that if you go ahead and you Google it, they use a lot of modules from Socket. We're only going to use very few modules from Socket, and we're actually going to cheat, and we're going to use Nmap because why not? Let's get that one started. Let's go to File, New File. I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, if anybody needs any water breaks, maybe 10 minutes for questions. We have 40 minutes. Do you guys want to do questions or do you want to move on to the port scanner? I'm down for either one. Here's a reference for your master Python review sheets from Eric Maths. You can tell Eric I sent you. That'd be greatly appreciated because I stalk his page a lot because he's Python genius. Great mentor to have. He's not always he's willing to go out of his way to help anybody. He's a really decent guy. Port scanner. Okay, cool. Okay, port scanner. Let's go. All right, so this is about 13 lines. Just like before, I'm gonna type it out because I can't multitask very well with typing and talking. And if I do type and talk, it's because I'm running through my brain. Basically, the only libraries we're gonna use for this, we can call this port scan 2. It's 2 for me, port scanner for you guys. All right, awesome. So we're going to import the Nmap library and the system library. Again, if you do not have Nmap installed on your computer, this will not work. So take the 2 seconds to navigate to nmap.org and go ahead and download the appropriate Nmap for your system. All right, let's get started. I did a little bit better with this, so fine. So variables. All right, so target. So will be our argument. String sys.rb, our first argument because it's input. All right, and then we want to know what ports equals here. Let's do FTP. Let's do SSH. Let's do 80. Let's do 139. Let's do secure HTML. Let's do SMB. Let's do SQL 306, and then obviously the bigger one. Now, well, I'm gonna do it this way. We've selected the ports from a list. We've created a list of ports, but we can also set it to where we can do our own inputs of ports, so that each time we run the script, we just type the input in. The benefit of having a preloaded dictionary or list is that the work is already done for you, and it'll print on the screen. Okay. Right. So, and then let's create the variable scan. From system, we're going to use scan v equals nmap port scanner. So you don't need all these spaces. It is not space friendly. It is not a good idea to I don't mind taking up space. I don't mind scrolling. So I like to see things. I also struggle from dyslexia. So it's easier when I space everything out. So thank you for understanding with how for my readability. All right, let me see here. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna create a screen. We're gonna create a message to screen while running the scanner. Does these notes help, these little comments that I have? Because I realized I didn't do that in the last one, and people were probably like, where are we? What are we doing? Does this make it easier? Give me a thumbs up if it makes it better when I put in comments, because comments are always better. All right, so we're going to create a for loop that from our list of ports, where it's going to scan the IP address that we put into the string. All right. Oh no. Did I just lose you guys? Did I just lose you guys? Hello, can everyone hear me? Oh Lord. Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna keep going. I don't know what happened. I can't see the chat anymore, but I'm gonna keep going because we only got 10 minutes left about. Okay, cool. All right, so what we want the screen to say is we're gonna print something simple, scanning. We wanted to scan the target for ports. And let's just go ahead and copy this line, boom, and paste here, boom. For port imports, ports scan underscore v dot scan. So you said the bracket at the end of yes. To screen. Port is port scan from this field, from the scan field, and then we want from the target, and we want the TCP field, and we want from the status, we want to see if it is up or down. And then see if it is state. Okay, too many brackets. Where did I miss it? Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Okay. Boom. All right. Perfect. All right. Port scanner. All right. And then we want the host message. So print my host. I want to know if my target host is up or not. So, hey guys, smarter, not murder, right? See? Boom, boom, boom. So for each port, it should list, go ahead and save that booger. Control S, Control S, Control S, Control S, Control S. Okay. So go ahead and save that. What are you telling me? Oh. Oops. All right. Boom. All right, guys, let's try out this port scanner. For ports and ports. Boom, boom, boom. Let me know how that's working out for you guys. Yes, that is port 80. I'm back in the chat, guys. Go ahead, hit save. Make sure you change it for both of them if you copied and pasted, such as myself. Boom, boom. Control S. Okay. Control S. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and give this a booger. So yours, it will be Python port scanner .py, and then ping yourself to 7. Just ping you, because we don't want any problems. And no one's going to be offended if you do that. You're getting an error calling in that port scanner. Put a space in between on line 9. Put a space in between the equal sign and in map. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, guys. Looks like we're making good on time. Questions? Questions? So this is what you should be running right now. All right. I sure can. How's everyone doing out there? Does that help? Resize the screen. So after our struggles with the banner grabber, the port scanner seems super easy. I got the ports that we used in today's exercise. Most of the time when you're doing a capture the flag, those are usually where you have most of your flags or things to do. All right. How's everybody doing out there? Got a few more minutes. I mean, crazy how fast we flew through this thing. Crazy. Let's see here. Yep. So we just did that one. So I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, it's working. Again, some compilers might require you to put new line in some of your commands. Let's see, you had lines 21 and 23. Let's go back and check lines 21 and 23. Boop, boop, boop. Print. Or it, oh, make sure Marseille, Miss Bryant, Omoso, make sure that on lines 21 and 23, there are no delimiters between the white text. So here, no space in between the quotation and the comma, no space between the quotation and the comma, no space. Make sure that you have your brackets, your brackets, your brackets, your brackets. Let's try that out. How you guys doing out there? Can you go up to, if you're going out of range, you know what? That's a good one. So let's go ahead and add that. Let's add that timeout feature. So go back up to import one. If it's taking too long, do that comma, do the socket, import socket. And then we want to define the variable set timeout to default to quit after 5 seconds. That way, if it takes longer than 5 seconds, it quits and you got to do something else. But yeah. That's if you wanted to. That's if you wanted to do that. You do not have to do that. Also, if you wanted to, type, oops, you want to type in the port number instead of pulling from a list. This is how you would do it. It would be ports equals let's say, put in port number. And that should right there. So this is what you would type in case you wanted to input the port number instead of pulling from a list. Can you go to line 5? I'm getting out of range. What do you mean getting out of range? All right, great. Great. This working. Target strings. Copy. What IP address are you using? Perfect, perfect, Greg. So I just copied the script into the chat. And these, so this is extra. Okay. How's everybody doing? Checking in. How's everybody doing? It's either one. Right. Yeah. Let's see. All right, guys, we have 4 minutes. Maybe it's just the compiler. Sure. If that works for you. Winning. Yeah. Either way should work. Either way should work. All right, guys. So we have 4 minutes, and I know I have a delay. If there are any questions, I know I didn't get to introduce myself properly, but I knew you'd run into a lot of technical difficulties. I just wanted to make sure that we got through the 2 projects that I had here because I knew they were going to take us forever to do. If there's any feedback that you have for me, please throw it in the chat. Please, again, follow all of the WSC platforms. I'm very active on Twitter. You can find me at I just put it in the chat. You can find me there on Twitter, LinkedIn, reach out. Sometimes I don't always get to my LinkedIn requests, but I'll definitely get to Twitter. If you have any questions about the resources that was used to put the class together, please feel free to reach out. And if there's any time for questions in regards to me, throw it in there, whatever I can do. And I would also love it if you could give me the good, bad, and ugly, and provide me that feedback as to things that I can do to make this a better experience for you guys. So thank you so much for coming out and attending the course. I'll be on for the last minute that I have before they kick us out. See you in the lobby. Hopefully that was helpful, guys. All right. Oh man, it might be too late, but I'll be teaching another class next week for WSC in Linux. So if you want to register for that, that'd be great. WSC East Coast side, Nakia Grayson's your point of contact. Reach out to her and she can get you the information to get registered for the course. Reach out to Nakia Grayson or WSC Nova Chapter lead. Let me get that to you. It is the bare bones basic. So a next great project for you, I would start adding calling variables. You know how in your normal in-map scanner, you know, you have variables like TAC AO, things like that. I would start, or dash AO, I would start, or anything for verbosity, you do your dash VBBs for more intense. That would be the next project that I would recommend that you guys get into, is really, really working on your loops and your outputs for your information. All right, everybody, you should probably start heading over to your next session. Again, thanks again for your participation. I am flattered that you were here and I appreciate you for sticking it out.